A very good evening and thank you for joining GBS News at 9. My name is Susan Nganga and our sign language interpreter tonight is Alan Kiama. We begin this bulletin with political news. Where political temperatures are rising tonight as Senate Deputy Minority Leader Enoch issues a hard-hitting statement ahead of President William Ruto's State of the Nation address, urging the head of state to exercise caution and speak real hope to Kenyans who, he says, are already weighed down by heavy taxation, corruption, unfulfilled promises, and a struggling education sector. Senator Wambua accuses the administration of pursuing punitive policies, attempting to muzzle free speech, and pushing for the sale of strategic national assets, which he warns will endanger the country's future generation. He is also calling for fairness in the absorption of intern teachers and for the president to adopt a more unifying tone in public engagements. Our political desk has the full highlights.
Thursday, November 20th, 2025, His Excellency President Dr. William Samoei Ruto, CGH, will be discharging his constitutional mandate under Article 132 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. As the Deputy Minority Leader in the Senate of the Republic of Kenya, I hope and wish that the President would use the floor of the August House to speak real hope to a nation that is tottering on the edge of hopelessness. Kenyans are already overtaxed, and any new measure to squeeze a penny out of Kenyans would be too much to bear for salaried Kenyans, businesses, and indeed all Kenyans who have to contribute to national revenue through the purchase of the most ordinary and basic goods and services. I hope that the President will not be using the floor of the National Assembly tomorrow to popularize his newest invention, to raid people's incomes through the so-called Infrastructure Development Fund. Kenyans cannot bear another fund. Kenyans cannot bear another levy. Kenyans cannot bear another loan. The Cybercrimes Amendment Act 2025 and a list of other pieces of punitive legislations do not inspire confidence in the executive. An attempt to limit the freedom of speech, deny oxygen to constructive digital activism, so to advance the argument that this regime wants to sell strategic national assets, including the Kenya pipeline, ostensibly to finance an annual budget, is to be too short-sighted. So if we sell Kenya pipeline today to finance the 2025-2026 annual budget, what shall we sell to finance the 2026-2027 annual budget and the other annual budgets to follow? What the intern teachers are asking for is a drop in the ocean compared to the President's pronouncements on the implementation of infrastructure projects in record time. I urge Dr. William Samoei Ruto, CGH, to act presidential and try to be the real symbol of national stability, to play the role of the father figure of our nation.
Nairobi City County Governor Johnson Sakaja has today announced a change in his cabinet. The changes were made formal in a circular dated 18th of November 2025. The shift is part of a major administrative reorganization affecting 10 chief officers, which is to take effect as soon as possible. This all was executed under Section 45(5) of the 2012 County Government Act, which empowers the governor to reassign chief officers. Among the affected is the Vocal Environment Chief Officer Geoffrey Mosiria. Matthew Perez has the details.
Under Section 45 of the County Government Act, executed in 2012, Nairobi County Governor Johnson Sakaja.
If I mess up, he will fire me. Yeah, so if I give you a sector, you say, let me not move out of it. You're the one who will be in trouble.
They made an unexpected change in his cabinet. Through a circular dated November 18, 2025, the circular showed a reorganization of 10 county chief officers. Sakaja cited the changes as a necessary action to optimize talent and enhance operation efficiency across Kenya's #1 city. Among those affected by the reshuffle is renowned environment chief officer Jopi Mosiria, who has been the talk of town, often in the headlines for his hands-on engagement in enforcement activities, including noise pollution, sanitation, and waste management.
Yes, kwa majina anaitwa Geoffrey Mosiria, katibu mkuu wa mazingira ya gatuzi la Nairobi. Huyu mtoto mliona kuna video niliweka, alikuwa akilia, ndio wazazi wake wakaja kumtafuta kwenye ofisi yangu na tukamtafuta town tukamkosa. Leo nimempata.
Mosiria has been replaced in the environment docket by Ibrahim Otieno, who previously served as the chief officer for medical facilities, as he takes on a new role in the Department of Citizen Engagement and Customer Service, which will see him be a top bridge between the public and the county government of Nairobi.
Ukiangalia hapa ni frontage yao, wanachoma, wanafaa wabebe uchafu wapeleke kwa final disposal. Wamekuwa kichoma mara kadhaa na wanaumiza majirani. Nairobi yote ni Kilimani. Wengine watoto wako asthmatic, wengine wako na shida ya mafua, wengine wako na homa, wengine wamefungana kifua. So hii kuchoma hii hairuhusiwi. Na hii message ifikie wananchi wote wa Nairobi.
This marked the second reassignment for Mr. Mosiria, who previously headed the Help a Simple docket before his transfer to Environment. The reassignment aligns with the governor's simultaneous announcement on the creation of 6 administrative regions, they being Western, Northern, Southern, Eastern, Southeastern regions. Matthew Torres, GBS News.
You're not going out of your way is doing.
And now to matters health. Healthcare workers, including those under the Universal Health Coverage Program, have been demanding permanent unpensionable employment contracts. These healthcare workers, many of whom were initially deployed on contract or casual terms, have been protesting against unfulfilled government promises regarding their transition to permanent roles. The demands also include salary harmonization and payment of overdue gratuities. In 2025, over 8,500 UHC health workers protesters highlighting their demands for permanent and pensionable jobs as well as better pay. The government has recognized the need to transition these workers with plans for permanent placement under county governments, expected by mid-2026.
We have done more than 10 times and we are not getting any solution. So the only thing that we want from this government of ours, we only want 2 things, bare minimum. We are requesting that we get paid our 16 months salary with immediate effects because it is long overdue. Secondly, we are requesting and we are demanding to be given permanent and pensionable employment because we are Kenyans.
When the Global Fund was coming in, they actually took care of the transition of these officers. And they made sure they had an agreement with the government through the Ministry of Treasury and the Ministry of Health that after the exit of Global Fund, the government was supposed to absorb these health workers.
When they came in, TB was a major public health issue. This group of employees fought TB until now the numbers are down. Now that the numbers are down, the Ministry of Health have decided that they are useless. They are no longer useful.
As a committee, we'll take up this matter. I'll actually ask the Speaker that this comes to our committee. Then we will look at it. And when it's come to the budget, I would actually want it to be done together with
The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, that is the IEBC, has fined Kasipul by-election candidates Philip Aroko and Boyd Were 1 million shillings each over violent clashes that left 2 people dead. The violence broke out on November 6th in central Kasipul ward after Aroko and his supporters allegedly stormed Were's rally site and fired shots in the air, sparking chaos and retaliation from Were supporters. The IEBC says both candidates ignored the agreed campaign schedule, fueling the confrontation. They've been formally warned to follow the electoral code and given 48 hours to pay the fines. The commission cautions that any further violation could lead to harsher penalties, including possible disqualification ahead of the November 27th by-election.
A most stern warning be and is hereby issued to both candidates that should any violation of the electoral code be repeated by any of them, this committee will consider all penalties under the law, including, with emphasis, their disqualification.
I just want to state here that myself, I've been a peaceful man since I started this campaign in 2023. So I still keep it peaceful. I've signed this document bearing in mind that if I do anything that is opposite, the circumstances that will follow may not be favoring.
I want to urge my supporters, I want to urge all candidates in the Kasipul by-elections, all residents of Kasipul, let's maintain peace. Let's embrace each other. It's only 1 week to the by-election, so let's campaign peacefully, let's maintain peace. At the end of the day, we'll only have one member of parliament, and at the end of the day, the people of Kasipul will choose.
And now to matters education. Junior secondary school GSS teachers in Kisii, who are in turn teachers employed on one-year contracts, are threatening to go on strike in January 2026. Their strike threat stems from demand for immediate confirmation on permanent and pensionable terms, rejecting President William Ruto's directive that they may be promoted only after serving 2 years. The approximately 20,000 GSS intern teachers are also protesting low monthly pay, which is about 17,000 Kenyan shillings after deductions, which they find inadequate given the cost of living. The teachers plan to down tools next January if the demands are not met, and they have organized demonstrations, including in Nairobi, to press for their employment, confirmation and improved conditions before the recruitment of new interns. This industrial action threat is part of a broader agitation across counties, including Kisii, to secure better job security and pay.
Zunishwa na yale ambayo yanaendelea kutoka kwa rais wetu. Kama unatusikiza penye uko, jua science moguls, we are not happy at all. Our contract inaisha 31st December. So coming date 5th January, if there is no confirmation, no class.
The president said that we want to be as the great nations of Singapore. It's only in Kenya, whereby we expecting the great futures with only $17 to be given to teachers.
They were brought to fill the gap because the STEM teachers for sciences were not employed in junior school. This is a group that if they not attend to their learners in class, there will be no learning in those institutions.
Tumewaambia kwamba hakuna kurudi shuleni hadi serikali imewaconfirm. Si vizuri tume ya kuajiri walimu iajiri walimu wa sayansi kama watu wa vibarua.
In Mbeere North, Embu County, 174 youth have successfully completed the 4-day classroom training phase of the government's Nyota project, aimed at empowering young entrepreneurs with the skills, mentorship, and startup capital needed to create sustainable businesses and jobs in their communities. Speaking during a visit to the program, Principal Secretary for MSMEs Development, Honorable Susan Mangeni, emphasized that micro, small, and business enterprises remain a key solution to Kenya's annual deficit of 800,000 jobs. The next phase of training will link youth to practical entrepreneurship opportunities, local markets, and support institutions, ensuring that the skills gained translate into real economic growth across the constituency.
Over 2 million young people, young Kenyans within that age bracket applied for this project. And we're only looking for about 100,000 because of the resources limitation. But this, in a way, it has really shown us that we now having a growing, a young population that now has demonstrated a growing interest in doing business. Kitambo hapo tulikuwa tunajaribu kuwahimiza unaweza fanya biashara ndikuwa ajira yao, but now things are different. Young people are coming out themselves and saying we are interested in doing business, we just require your support. So we expect to do disbursement in the coming weeks, maybe in the next 2 weeks, for these beneficiaries here and across all those 25 counties. We are covering actually 151 constituencies. Counties from the Rift Valley, the larger Rift Valley, the eastern region, as well as eastern Nyanza region. So we are covering the whole Nyanza, both Luo, Nyanza and the Kisii Nyanza region, lower eastern, upper eastern, and then as well as the larger Rift Valley. So we'll be remaining with about 18 counties after now this cycle, which we hope to also begin training before the end of this week. Most probably around Friday, there will be rolling out to the last batch of the 18 counties which are remaining. But immediately after this training, we are making arrangement for the disbursement where they receive 50%, so then they can get to launch their business ideas.
And with that, it is time for us to take a short break. Keep your feedback streaming into social media platforms at GBS TV Africa. The SMS line is always 21144. We'll be right back.
Hello kids, and welcome to Kids Mind, where we learn, we laugh, and we explore. Once upon a time, there lived this beautiful, kind, and humble lady named Esther. She lived with Mordecai for a very long time until she grew as big as me. Before Esther was not named Esther, her name was Hadassah. In our today's Bible story, I mentioned 5 characters. Who are they? Mordecai, King Xerxes, Esther, Haman, and Haggai. Esther represents me. Esther represents
We're going to be discussing dream chasing versus stability. Dream chasing versus stability.
Okay, dream chasing nayo ni ngumu. Juu unaweza kuwa una chase impossible dreams.
Okay.
But yet unaweza kuwa una chase possible dreams. So wewe tu ngangana na dream yako, one day one time utafika hapo.
Ukifika certain stage in life, make decisions peke yako, ndio ukiregret usikuwa na mtu wa kublame. Just go for it. Ndio kikikuuma ni wewe imeuma.
Kuramba.
Na iki work out pia all the best, because si kila time uta-fail na si kila time uta-succeed, but hauwezi jua kama hujajaribu.
Mimi nitakuja hapa nikudanganye, soft life. Hujui hiyo soft life inatoka wapi? You guys just want to fly badala you take the stairs step by step. Obviously mtu wako pale juu alianzia somewhere. You can't tell me ati kama kuna alternative utafanya, si basi wewe fanya if that's what you want. Would you rather earn less doing what you love ama earn more doing what you hate?
Mi hata sita kudanganya ati napenda kukufia nchi yangu just because of the money that is there. Si ati anapenda kukua KDF, but it's because of the money that is there.
Okay, men are not smart like women. I'm
Yeah,
going to
true.
say that
That's
for a
true.
fact.
If right now, that
is true. If me and Rachel say to pay 1 million, tupe mwaka moja, hiyo million itakuwa hata maybe 10. But if a man unashikangwa tu na kiburi, sasa ndio unavaa
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back to the bulletin. And now, security concerns in Kagumo are growing after Area OCS Julius Kiplimo issued a firm warning against the rising number of motorbikes operating without number plates, saying the trend is fueling criminal activity and threatening public safety. His caution comes as Kirinyaga Central Member of Parliament Gashoki Gitari and other local leaders express fresh fears that the once peaceful town could slide back into insecurity if swift action is not taken. Authorities are now calling for tighter enforcement, stronger community cooperation, and renewed efforts to combat drug abuse, the leading threat in the area. Our reporter has the latest details from Kagumo.
Watu wenye wanatembea bila number plates, tafadhali. You are exposing yourself hata kama utakuwa kwamba huna maneno. You will never convince any enforcement officer kwamba you are not a criminal. Kwa nini wewe unatembea na motorbike without number plate? Number plate inaitwa primary key. Primary key, hiyo number plate, number haikuange na mtu mwingine. Hata ukitafuta Kenya mzima, it is only you. And that one will identify you kwamba wewe uko na hiyo motorbike.
Nilipata habari insecurity imeanza kurudi Kagumo, na kuna majina 7 inatajwa sana sababu ya watu wale wanaleta furugu hapo Kagumo town, na singetaka kurudia maneno ya history. Kagumo town is one of the most peaceful towns in the entire of Kirinyaga County. Historia ilikuwa baya na singetaka turudi hapo.
Alafu kuna kikundi kimejiunga hapa Kagumo, kikundi ya watu wachache, si wengi, lakini tusipoangalia sana watakuwa wamemea misisi kama ile ya mti wa mubao. Si ni kweli? Unajua mti wa mubao mzizi wake unaenda chini. Si ni kweli? Kwa hivyo tukikubali wamea hiyo misisi, tutasilo kuwatoa hapa Kagumo.
Na mimi nataka kusema tulikuwa tumekutana kama viongozi na waendezaji wa pikipiki wenye wanafanya biashara hapa Kagumo na hasa Mutira. Mimi nataka kusema tuko na wahalifu ambao sio wengi, ni watu samba. Wamekuwa wakifanya mambo ya kusarabatisha kazi ama biashara ya hapa Kagumo. Mimi nataka kusema kama kiongozi wa Mutira Ward, hatutakubalia mtu atoke mahali ametoka akuje azarabatishe kazi ama biashara ya wanambo.
Kirinyaga County is registering some of its most impressive milestones yet in maternal and child health. Fresh data released by the county shows a sharp rise in antenatal attendance and a significant drop in maternal deaths over the last 8 years, which Governor Anne Guru attributes to sustained health reforms and improved emergency support for expectant mothers. The county is also reporting significant gains in skilled deliveries, child immunization, and newborn survival, positioning Kirinyaga among the top performers in strengthening the safety and well-being of mothers and their babies. Let's take a listen.
The investment in health sector has improved key indicators in the county, such as antenatal coverage has improved from 45 to 63%. The reduction of maternal mortality ratio has reduced from 88 to 55 deaths in every 100,000 live births. Neonatal mortality rate, number of children who die within 28 days of birth, has decreased from 26 to 10 deaths in every 1,000 live births. Skilled birth attendance proportion of mothers delivering in health facility has improved from 87 to 92%. Immunization coverage, percentage of children fully immunized by 12 months has improved to 91%. Mother-to-child transmission of HIV has reduced from 13 to 6.5%, amongst the best in the country. Human resources in the health sectors has also improved. Parallel to infrastructure development, Kirinyaga has significantly strengthened its health workforce to match new capacity and evolving service need. The county government has undertaken systematic recruitment to ensure that newly expanded facilities are adequately staffed. Since 2017, over 150 health workers have been hired in addition to the cadres that are already existing. Now, all our level 4 hospitals, health centers, and dispensaries are equipped with an electronic health information system. This yields real-time patient data across health facilities, streamlining care coordination and reducing paperwork. The system is also integrated with the SHA system, reducing delays in claims submission to SHA and tracking reimbursements. Kirinyaga's achievements are underpinned by key health financing reforms, chief among them the Facility Improvement Fund, the FIF. Under the FIF model, each public hospital now keeps and manages its own revenue, user fees, and SHA reimbursement through facility-level committees and management.
And now to the international news. Namibia's High Court recently ruled against including Germany as a party in an ongoing genocide redress case. The case challenges the legality of the 2021 joint declaration between Namibia and Germany regarding the 1904 to 1908 genocide against the Ova, Herero, and Nama peoples committed during German colonial rule. The court decided that German government cannot currently be joined as a respondent in the case and declined an application to allow Namibian court documents to be served in Germany outside Namibia. The court noted that the 2021 joint declaration is not a final settlement and Germany has acknowledged responsibility for the genocide from a historical perspective. However, the legal challenge focuses on declaring the joint declaration unlawful under Namibia's constitution and international law. The ruling means that Germany's legal liability in the case is not being considered by the Namibian court at the stage, which has caused disappointment among affected communities seeking reparations and justice.
Involved. I mean, we don't want to have a sideshow amongst Namibians. We have no quarrel amongst ourselves. And I'm not sure why the court directed that the main case proceeds, knowing that we intended the main case to be heard in the presence of Germany.
As part of the 2021 agreement, Germany pledged over $1 billion for development projects, but stopped short of offering direct reparations. Amnesty International has described that and what it said was Germany's failure to engage with the Ova Herero and Nama as shameful. However, bringing Germany into the lawsuit is difficult.
And with that, you have come to the end of the news bulletin. It's always a pleasure having you on board. Let's again next time some channel. My name is Susan Nganga and our sign language interpreter tonight has been Alan Kiama. Have a good night.